Village establishing shot. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a raging storm, winds howling, rain pounding like it's trying to break you. Everything around you is chaos, but what if I told you that one simple choice could turn it all around? Stick with me, because today, we're diving into a story that shows the incredible power of time and patience, and how being the calm in the storm can change your life forever. Elias entering scene. Let me take you back to a small village nestled between rolling hills and a vast, unpredictable sea. There lived a man named Elias. He was in his early 30s, with calloused hands from years of hard work. Elias wasn't rich or famous. He was just an ordinary fisherman who loved the ocean like a brother. Every dawn, he'd set out in his old wooden boat, casting nets under the rising sun, hoping for a good catch to feed his family, his wife, Anna, and their 2 young kids. Close-up emotion. It started with whispers in the village. Fishermen talked about strange weather patterns, warmer waters, fewer fish swimming in their usual spots. Elias brushed it off at first. The sea has its moods, he'd say with a chuckle. But soon, those moods turned fierce. One evening, as he hauled in his nets, they came up lighter than ever. Day after day, the catches dwindled. What used to fill his boat now barely covered the bottom. Bills piled up. The kids needed new clothes. Anna worried about food on the table. Elias felt the weight pressing down, like an anchor pulling him under. Then came the storm. Not just any storm, a monster of a tempest that the villagers would talk about for generations. It brewed on the horizon one afternoon, dark clouds swallowing the sky like hungry giants. The wind picked up, whipping the sea into furious waves. Elias was out there, alone, when it hit. He had pushed his luck that day, staying longer to try for one last catch. Just a bit more, he told himself. But the ocean roared back. Sitting alone by sea, life was simple for Elias. The sea provided, the village thrived on its rhythms. He had dreams, though. He wanted to save enough to buy a bigger boat, maybe even start a small fishing business to give his children a better future. Anna would smile and say, "One day, Elias. One day." And he'd nod, feeling that quiet fire in his chest. Things were steady, predictable. Until they weren't. Hourglass. You see, Elias remembered his grandfather's words from childhood, "The sea tests us, boy. But time and patience are your true anchors. Storms pass if you let them." Clinging to that, Elias stopped fighting the waves blindly. He tied himself to the mast, huddled low, and focused on one breath at a time. Storm conflict. Waves crashed over his boat, splintering wood and soaking him to the bone. His nets tore like paper. Lightning cracked the sky, thunder booming so loud it shook his soul. Elias gripped the oars, heart pounding. "Why now?" he screamed into the gale. "I've given everything to you." Panic clawed at him. He thought of Anna waiting at home, the kids' faces lighting up when he returned. What if he didn't? The boat spun wildly, water filling it faster than he could bail. In that chaos, fear whispered, "Fight harder. Panic. Lash out." But something deeper inside Elias stirred, a quiet voice saying, "Wait. Breathe. Be still." Tied to mast, emotional low, the storm raged on, hour after hour, tossing him like a leaf in the wind. His body ached, his mind screamed for it to end. Doubts flooded in. What if I lose everything? The boat, my dreams, my family. It was the longest night of his life, the climax of his breaking point. He felt utterly alone, the world reduced to darkness and fury. Tears mixed with rain on his face as he whispered prayers, not for the storm to stop, but for the strength to endure. Hopeful shift. As dawn broke, something miraculous happened. The winds began to ease. The waves calmed, retreating like a beast sated from its rampage. Elias, battered and bruised, looked around. His boat was damaged, half sunk, but it floated. He was alive. With trembling hands, he rowed back to shore, the sun piercing through the clouds like a promise. Villagers rushed to help, pulling him in. Anna embraced him, sobbing with relief. "I thought I'd lost you," she whispered. Smiling portrait. In the days that followed, the real struggle unfolded. The storm had devastated the village. Boats wrecked, homes flooded, the sea seemingly barren. Elias's dream of a bigger boat shattered. They had to rebuild from scratch. Friends urged him to leave, to find work inland. The seas turned against us, they'd say. Elias felt the temptation. Anger bubbled up, at the ocean, at fate, at himself for not seeing it coming. Nights were sleepless, filled with what ifs. How do you feed your family when hope feels drowned? But Elias chose differently. He remembered that night on the boat, how panic would have sunk him, but patience saved him. Time heals what force can't, he told Anna one evening, as they sat by a flickering fire. Instead of rushing to fix everything, he waited. He helped neighbors repair their homes first, sharing what little they had. He studied the sea's patterns, talking to old-timers about tides and seasons. Patience wasn't easy. It felt like standing still in quicksand. Doubts nagged. What if things never improve? What if I'm failing my family? Yet, he breathed through it, one day at a time. Months passed. Slowly, the fish returned. Warmer currents shifted, bringing schools back to their shores. Elias mended his boat with care, no shortcuts. He started small again, but wiser. And then, opportunity knocked. A merchant from the city heard of the village's resilience and offered to buy their catches at better prices. Elias's patience paid off. He not only rebuilt but expanded, teaching others his ways. His family thrived, the kids laughing freely once more. Facing sunrise. Looking back, Elias often sat by the sea at sunset, reflecting. That storm wasn't just weather. It was life's way of testing him. He realized that rushing, panicking, or forcing solutions often makes things worse. But time reveals paths you can't see in the chaos. Patience lets you navigate them. Power of time and patience. So, my friend, what's the storm in your life right now? Maybe it's a job loss, a broken relationship, or a dream that feels out of reach. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to want to fight or flee. But what if you paused? What if you became the calm in that storm? Trust me, I've seen it in stories like Elias's, and maybe in your own life too. Remember, storms don't last forever. They come to shake us, to teach us. But with patience, time becomes your ally. It heals wounds, clears the path, and brings clearer skies. You don't have to be the strongest or the fastest. Just be steady. Hold on, breathe deep, and let time do its work. Path to horizon. Next time life throws waves at you, think of Elias tied to that mast, waiting it out. You can do the same. Be the calm. Embrace the power of time and patience. It might just lead you to shores you never imagined. And if this story touched you, hit that like button, subscribe for more tales that inspire, and share your own storm stories in the comments. Until next time, stay patient, stay strong. This is Wordy Tales, signing off.